you have had a crazy journey this past year, I'm sure, like with everything airing. We have to remember as the audience, this was a year ago. So you've completely moved on from this, but you're now having to relive.
Relive everything.
I'm sure that's fun, right? I'm
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, my therapist is making money. Like, let's
How has it been just like watching it all back and like experiencing it all over again?
watching it back has been challenging because, like I keep saying, so much is not seen. So when I'm watching it, I'm like, wait, what? That didn't happen, or that's
Right.
happened. And reliving it, it's been emotional. Like, yeah, it's been absolutely tough. But
Yeah.
it's all out now. Like it's been a couple of weeks, so I'm definitely in a better position now than I was a couple of weeks ago.
Right, right. And for us as viewers, I think the reunion, right? Like to us, there was so much missing. There was so much that wasn't covered. And so I said, today we're going to try and fill in some of those gaps that might have been missing from the reunion. But just, firstly, I want to ask, like, did we miss something at the reunion? Because it's like I was hearing rumblings that like mics were turned off and it was just like in the audience, and then
Right.
like so we were expecting all this drama and then we got like nothing. So we were like, we
It's,
like drama in America, okay? Like we like the drama.
it's TV, and
Mm,
again, so that got you gripped into watching it.
yeah.
Um, no, I mean the reunion, mine and Freddie's part, we got filmed like very last, and so
Right.
much went on. So by the time it got to me and Freddie, it was like, yeah, how are you guys? Great, bye.
Right. I was like, they didn't even
I
ask
was,
them why they broke up. I was like, I think I literally timed it. I was like, they got like 6 minutes. Like,
yeah, we were there for 4 hours filming,
Okay.
so you guys
So
only
it's
for 45 minutes.
yeah, and I guess it's safe to say that a lot was
Yeah.
left. Okay, so we're gonna try and fill in some of those gaps that we didn't get at the reunion. First, the first question I have to ask you, because the internet seems to think that because you and Freddie had the same grandparents' names, that you guys were somehow related. Can you please clear that up for us right
No,
now?
we are not. This was covered on the reunion. We did
Okay.
get asked, and we made, so again, this is what I mean. We made a joke about it on the reunion, and I'm so sad it wasn't shown because it was so funny.
Right.
And no, we are not related at all. It was just so ironic, and yeah, it was bad. But no, we're not related.
Okay. Okay. So there you guys have it. They are not related. Okay. So we're going to go back. So we're going to get to where you're at now, but we're going to go back. We're going to take it back. Okay. So first, we want to know, like, were you scouted for the show or did you apply for the show? Because I know a lot of the
Yeah.
castmates said that they saw like an ad on TikTok and they actually applied. So,
No, I was scouted. I had heard of the show. I've never watched the American one. So I wanted to go in there with like no game plan. I was like, do you know what? I just want to go in there with no knowledge because I thought that was the best way. And when you get asked for a TV show, there is such a long process. You don't just get asked and you're on it. I had like months of like auditioning, casting. Like it's a process.
yeah.
So yeah, I got scouted. But even if you're scouted, it doesn't mean you're gonna make it.
So you were scouted, and this is not your first reality TV show, correct?
Oh God, no. Someone dug out, like, it's actually crazy what public do. And I knew it was gonna come up. No, I did a British reality TV show like 8 years ago, like
Okay.
10 years ago, and someone found it.
Yeah.
But
No,
that's
the
just
internet's undefeated.
that's just the internet for you.
Yeah, the internet is undefeated. So it was just that one and Love is Blind, because there were like rumblings that there were three, or like people make stuff up.
No, I mean, no, there was an Ibiza one I did, and then I have got a documentary out, but it comes under the Ibiza category. And again, this was like years ago. It's mad.
Okay, okay, that's fair. Okay, so let's take it back to the pods. Were there any connections that you had besides Ollie and Freddie that we did not see?
No, not at all. So my best mate Charlie, who was on the show, he was actually with me. So I dated him, but I dated him just because he was like my best friend in there.
Okay.
But we did have a connection. But no, it was just Freddie and Ollie throughout the whole process.
Okay. So we did see both your connections because I know some they can't show them all.
Yeah, no. It was just Freddie and Ollie.
So Charlie was your best friend in there prior to
No.
the show.
So I dated Charlie in the pods, but then we just became like best friends. So like I was like holding on to him to the very last minute because he was just like my rock. And now he's like out in the outside world. He's like my best guy mate. So you make friendships in there as well.
Right. Okay. All right. Good to know. So I would say, like, starting off, you and Freddie were like so cute. Like, you guys started off as like one of my favorite couples. I was like, they're so beautiful together. They look so good together. It was like giving Barbie and Ken. I was here for it. So it seemed like you guys started off like really, really good. What would you say was the turning point or the shift in you guys' relationship? Because to the viewer, it looked like all was well up until maybe like the cheating conversation, and that thing shifted from there. What would you say was the turning point?
The turning point was when we left the pods. So the minute you leave the pods, it is very stressful. You're not in your comfort zone. You're out. You're filming every day. You have cameras. And just to clarify this whole cheating thing, I did not give a flying whatever that he cheated. And of course, when someone tells you that you like, it hurts. I'm a female. I've got a past. But did I drag it on for the whole season of the show? No. So yeah, it was one of them. But yeah, the turning point was pretty much after the pods.
So you would say like right when you guys got to Greece, like the vibe was just off?
I think not right when we got to Greece. I would say probably halfway through, because the first day it's all fun, you're on holiday, and then as you're living together, and as it gets a bit more intense, and you're having these conversations face to face, you then realize a lot about each other. So yeah, it was probably halfway through the retreat.
Okay. Yeah. And because I did have a question about the cheating, because I feel like for the audience, it seemed like it was such a big deal, throughout the entire season. So I was like wondering, like, was it as big of a deal as it like played out on camera,
No, and Freddie knew this because I had many conversations with him saying, I don't care. And I think he was so worried about what I was going to think. And he thought I was just holding on to this. And when really it annoyed me at the start. And then by the next day, I literally couldn't care. But for him, I think it was still playing on his mind that I was still so bothered by it. But
so you did have conversations where you were like, I don't care. And we
every day, I reassured that guy to say, I don't care. Like, I'm with you for you. I love you for you. Whatever. You told me the truth. So...
Right, and we just didn't see those conversations.
Didn't see them properly.
Rude, because they made it seem like you were harping on it. And everyone's like, girl, get over it. It was 8 years ago.
I was over it. I don't care. Don't cheat on me. End of.
Right, exactly. So Freddie has said in a couple of lives that he feels like his journey was accurately portrayed. Like watching it back, he felt like his journey was accurately portrayed. Do you feel the same?
What do you mean? As in
that your journey was accurately portrayed? Like, is that how it all went down? Because he said he feels like it was.
I think Freddie's brain and my brain work very differently. Obviously, the conversations that you see, that is real. Then words come out my mouth. But like I say, a lot happens off camera. And there's reasons why I was very snappy and why I was very insecure. And, Freddie made it very obvious that he was not in love with me, like the minute we got to London. So then I was like, obviously broken, but then he's trying to plan a wedding with me. And I'm like, baby, you're giving me mixed signals. I don't know where I'm coming. I don't know if I'm coming or going. Right. That was why I was so up and down.
Up and down. Okay, so So I did catch I saw the clips that Anthony Gile posted of you guys live where you stated that you and Freddie had a conversation on camera where he literally told you that he is not in love with you.
Yeah.
Was it more like he's not in love with you, he's never been in love with you, or can you tell us more about that?
So his point of view was like, I love you, like I love my dog, I love my cat, I love my mom, like that love, but it was like, I'm not in love with you. Okay. Which was fine, because I was like, whatever, like we don't know each other. Okay, obviously I was broken, but then I was so confused and I was like, well then why are we still here?
Right.
So that's why I was so confused. My emotions were heightened. And don't forget, we're having to have these conversations on camera. Right. So it's difficult. It's not, I'm not going to sit there very composed. You know, I'm real, and I shared a lot of my expressions out there because I was so frustrated.
Right. You were real and your feelings were genuine. Would you say at the point where Freddie, disclosed that he wasn't in love with you, were you in love with him at that point?
Yeah, I was obsessed with Freddie. Like, again,
me too.
Well, half the nation is, which is, you don't need to keep telling me every day, like it's fine.
So you were in love with him at that point?
Yeah, I had conversations. I mean, every day I reassured that guy. You know, I don't think he felt secure in himself. So he was having doubts that I was having doubts about him, and I wasn't happy. Where every day I had to tell it, I was so happy. But none of you got to see that, which was so, they just picked like me and Freddie had the best time off camera. Like I've never laughed so much, and it's so breaking for me to watch Love is Blind and that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to hear that. But so at what point in the journey did he tell you this? Was it like right when you guys got back from Greece?
So I kept asking him because I was obviously trying to we still planned the wedding. So I was trying to ask him, and every day he just wasn't himself. And I kept saying to him, let's go. Like, we don't need to be here. He wanted to stay. I didn't force him. And he had the opportunity to leave. And then it was like I think it was the night before we were meant to fly home to our, so I was going back to my home. He was going home before the wedding. We had a couple of apart. And I asked him, like, are you in love with me? And he was just like, no, like, I'm not in love with you. Okay. And I was like, well, then what, like, why are you here? Like, this is the guy I wanted to marry. So that's why I'm so up and down the show, because throughout the whole show, I got mixed signals on and off camera. Okay.
So you were open to leaving the experiment and exploring a connection off camera together versus this forcing a marriage type thing.
I saw him struggle, like, with the pressure of the show, like, as did I. Like, the pressure is unreal, and it's not for everyone. And I noticed the change in him, and it wasn't because of me.
Okay, that was my next question.
No, it was not because of me. Like, I think that's absolutely crazy. The pressure that you're under is, you don't wake up and you go walk and have a lovely walk and you go for lunch. It is like, you're told what to do, you're told where you're going, and they're putting us in situations that me and Freddie didn't like. That's going to be the argument. Right. So every day was getting a struggle. And I asked him, let's go home. We don't need to be in this. But he wanted to stay. There.
So it's fair to say that, because I know throughout the season, we saw his sister say, you're a shell of yourself, like you're not being yourself. It's fair to say that reaction wasn't coming from you. It was coming from the pressure of the show and the cameras.
I mean, to be honest,
us to seem like it was you that was putting him in the shell and making him not himself.
Like I said, I think Freddie was still thinking that I was so annoyed about this cheating thing. Even though I told him every day that's not the case. Like, honestly, I'm over it. And obviously I was changing as filming was going on, because I'm also like stressing out. So in terms of his sister's comment, she was probably just saying it because she thinks I changed him, but that's her opinion. That wasn't the case.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you guys not discuss cheating at all in the pods?
No, we didn't. So in the pod, you've got a book and you've got questions you ask. But cheating wasn't on. In the pods, me and Freddie had such a lovely journey. Cheating didn't even cross my mind.
Right. Okay.
And then when we went on our date on the retreat, I got asked, "Can you ask Freddie about his cheating?" And I was like, "Oh." So that's why I asked it. But to viewers, they just think I randomly think, "Oh, do you cheat?" Like,
yeah. Okay, so you were prompted to like kind of, it was a little manipulated, which I think as viewers sometimes forget, like there's production, there is a crew. It is, that's why I always say like my opinions are based off of a character that I am seeing on a show. And understand that it is manipulated and this may not be how this person is. So can you tell us about the infamous shopping scene? Because it seemed like it came out of nowhere, left field.
I love this shopping scene. I'm like, just let the viewers have it. No, the shopping scene. No, so again, we got told we're going shopping. I already knew Freddie didn't like shopping. So I thought this is going to be the best day ever then, isn't it? And we go to this shop, and again, don't forget, it's hours of filming. It's not just 5 minutes in a shop. And I was really at my tether with it because he had expressed from the minute we stepped foot outside the flat to the minute we were finished filming how much he disliked shopping and kind of took the mick a little bit. And it just prodded the bear a bit too much. And then that's why I was just so annoyed because I was like, I don't want to be here either, nor do you, but here we are. So that's why the viewers saw me snap because we both didn't want to be there. Like, I just knew he was uncomfortable. I was uncomfortable. So, yeah.
So production's hearing that Freddie hates shopping, and so they send you guys on a 5-hour shopping spree. That's so kind of them. Okay, so we have to. I think one of the main things, and maybe they brought it up at the reunion, maybe they did not, like maybe we didn't see it, maybe it was cut out, but the mixer with Sam.
You know what? It's
one of the main things they left out.
This is annoying because it's like Sam was on his own at the mixer. No one spoke to him. And again, what viewers didn't see is my mum and dad had a house fire that day back at home. So I got told about this house fire. I went back on set filming and I was so upset. People then thought I'm upset because Freddie said he liked another woman. No, I was upset because my mum and dad had a house fire, which was not part of filming because that was something personal. Right. But when Sam came on the scene, I got told to go and talk to him. So I did. And we got on because no one spoke to him. Do I think what he did with the other females on his journey, do I think that's right? No. He knows this. It's not right. That's his own journey.
Right.
And then this whole ring situation. So me and Freddie had a massive discussion. So my old engagement ring, we both decided we didn't wanted to change it because it didn't fit my finger. And Sam had this ring that from his past, and I was like, oh my God, that's the ring I want. And I said, Freddie, look, it's the ring. That wasn't shown. So all you see me saying is how much I love Sam's ring and la-di-da. And I don't know if you noticed, but halfway through, me and Freddie both decide on a new ring, and it was that one. But the thing is with me is like, I'm very vocal. Like, if I like something, I say it. So with the whole Sam that's like my ex, I was so shocked. And I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. But that's just me as a person. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. But watching it back, did you see why, like, the audience kind of felt like...
Oh my God. Watching it back, I was like, are you kidding? So me and Sam had a conversation at the mixer. And I said, I have the perfect, like, girl for you. Like, I've got a friend. Like, and then I say, when I'm over, like, give me a call, like, da-da-da. But obviously you only see me say, give me a call or whatever I say. But what I actually was doing was linking him up with one of my friends.
So you weren't inviting him to hang out with you in London. You were inviting him to hang out with your girl in London.
Yeah.
Oh, production is shady.
So, the don't, like, me and Sam are like we do hang out, like he's in my circle of friendship, because as much like as people have their own opinions, he is a good friend and he's been there through everything. And so yeah, but in terms of this whole flirting thing, like I am just a nice person and I do talk to everyone. So if people don't like that, that's their problem.
Right, because I know you had said at some point to the camera, like you like a lot of attention when you go out from your partner, and sometimes you don't recognize that you're flirting. So people seem to think that
it can come across as flirting. At the end of the day, I'm a dental nurse. My job is to talk to patients, make them like just talk and talk and talk. That's what I do in my career. So I guess from a guy point of view, that can probably like, come on, she's a bit too keen, or she's telling me her life story in 5 minutes. That's just me. Like, I'm just really open, but I can see how that can come across. So that's why I said that. But when I'm with my partner, I want the reassurance and the comfort, and that is something that Freddie didn't bring, but that's okay, because that's not his love language. Do you know what I mean? So that's just where we clashed at that point in the mix-up.
Okay, so you would say you weren't flirting with Sam. That was taken out of context.
No. I don't find him attractive. Like, it's mind-blowing.
Okay, so even though Sam looked like your ex, you didn't find him attractive?
No, my ex is an ex for a reason. And
you didn't find him attractive either?
And it's not about looks. It is about personality. But no, I was not flirting with Sam. I was just overly happy, and it comes across as if I'm flirting. But yeah, no, not flirting.
Okay, so, and I did see that you mentioned on your Instagram to clear the air, because there was another huge rumor circulating that Kat and Sam were dating. I know he even made some TikToks, like kind of clowning.
No.
So let's clarify that. You never dated Sam after the show.
I have never dated Sam, ever.
Never dated Sam ever. He has never come to visit her in London. That was for her friend. She did not invite him to visit her in London. She was trying to hook him up with her homegirl. Did you hook him up with your homegirl?
I'm not telling you. I help him out. I help him out. I do want the best for him. But in terms of his TikTok, I thought it was hilarious.
I thought it was clearly a joke. Yeah.
He was playing it and he changed his profile picture to, I was like, oh, I forgot. I called him every day. I was like, Sam, seriously. But it was hilarious. I thought it was funny. The viewers are just like, people just get so sucked into it. It's mind blowing.
Yeah. People 100%.
People need to chill out and focus on their own lives.
They need to chill, or realize, this is just a show. It's just entertainment, and it's just like, I found Sam's TikToks to be funny. I knew he was joking, but unfortunately, people be like, no, his profile picture is Catherine. Like, they go together real bad. So, okay, so that's good to know. I think. Another thing that I was curious about is if you and Freddie had any interactions with each other's family besides what we saw.
I mean, off camera, whenever I would call my mum, Freddie would be in the background, and that was pretty much it. But in terms of his family, I spent the whole day there meeting the family, but no, so what you saw was probably the most interaction we had. I never saw them again, off camera.
Okay, because the sister seemed skeptical of you from the jump, from the very first meeting. Was that accurately portrayed? How was that watching that back?
Yeah, no, his sister didn't like me. I can tell. And I heard her in the kitchen, so I was outside, playing with the kids. And when I walked in, I overheard her say, I don't want Catherine marrying Freddie, which is fine, because at the end of the day, that's his sister. She can have this opinion. So yeah, it hurt me, and then again, me and Freddie obviously had a little argument after that because I overheard it, and yeah, it sucks. But again, she can have her opinion. That's his sister, and he's gonna look out for him.
Did your parents or your family want you to marry Freddie, or did they have their reservations about it?
My mum tells me now, yeah, he wasn't right for you. I'm like, you told me a year later. At the time, she really, really loved, like, they both loved Freddie. Like, they honestly respected him. The only thing they didn't like was the fact that he just had it in his head that I was this material, bougie girl. And
Right.
he never dropped it. Every day, it's what I heard. And I was just, that's why I was so frustrated. Like, I was like, I'm so tired of here. I had to defend myself every day. Like, I couldn't be me because I was so scared to, like, I don't know. It was just weird. But no, that was the only thing my family were not really keen about.
Yeah, and honestly, there's nothing wrong with being bougie. Like, yeah.
It was literally just, I don't even know what happened. I don't even know where this came from. Like,
Right.
I think I said I ate in one restaurant one day. And like, when I'm with my girls, and like, our thing to do is go for a lovely drink at a rooftop and do girls' thing.
Right.
But to him, that's like bougie. So that's a bit like, but again, if that's his opinion, like, that's absolutely fine. Like, he doesn't like that. I would never ask him to come with me and sit there. Like, you do your fun, I do my fun, and then we chill at home together.
Yeah, one of the comments said, "Is Catherine bougie or is Freddie cheap?" Like, no, Freddie slander.
No, Freddie's not cheap.
I mean, same. That's what I like to do with my girls. Rooftop, you know.
And this is the annoying thing. Like, the public seem to think that it's because I'm on TV and people are going to make this assumption. But I know there's all these comments and all these people, they do the exact same thing. Like, I don't want to be identical to my partner.
Right.
And yeah, and Freddie likes nice things as well. Like, this is the funny thing. Like, please.
Yeah. He gives rooftop vibes. He
gives VIP vibes. Like,
he gives VIP for sure. Like, okay, so I know some of the couples mentioned their communication leading up to the weddings, and I understand that some couples had longer periods of time between like apartment move out and wedding. How was you and Freddie's communication from moving out of the apartment to wedding day?
So we did communicate.
Okay.
And he was very 50-50. He didn't know. He was leaning towards like a no. Like, he said, like, I just don't think this is like. But in my way, I was like, look, if it's a no, I don't want to go. Like, my family had to travel. Like, so I didn't live in the UK, so my family had to travel. So I was like, if it's a no, like, we don't need to bring our families there.
Right.
But I think the more I was asking for an answer, he felt very pressured. So I gave up, obviously. But he did communicate that he had doubts, which is absolutely fine. But I obviously, leading up to the wedding, I got a little bit of a mixed signal.
Okay. Do you think, watching it back, do you think that his sister's opinion had any influence on his decision?
Well, this is the thing. So Freddie told me that his sister's opinion, like, never mattered to him. Like, he told me that his sister didn't even want him going on the show, but he still went on the show. So then I was like, okay, like, doesn't matter what his sister thinks. Like, so, but now I'm watching it and I'm like, okay, did your sister's opinion matter? So I don't know. Only he can answer that.
Okay.
So like, it clarified it for him. Like, I feel like that was like the icing on the cake.
Okay. So you guys go to wedding day. You're not sure if it's a yes or no. So I can understand why that gift was so confusing then, because I thought, maybe he is going to say yes. You get her earrings to match the ring. Like, she won't really need the earrings if she's not going to have the ring. You know what I mean? So
like, you've got people in your ear that day saying their opinions, which can easily lead you into a different answer. But I don't regret my answer. I wanted to marry Freddie. I wanted to show him that I was committed to him. I was willing to change, like, my attitude, my, everything to make this guy happy. Because in the bubble, I was in love with him. I wanted him as my husband.
Okay, so that's why you said yes. So because I was going to ask you why you said yes if he told you that he was not in love with you,
I wasn't just going to say no because someone else says no. I would not be true to myself.
Okay.
And like I said, I would have rather just left the show and we could have done. But I wanted to marry that guy at the time. Like I was madly in love with him. And like I said, the stuff you didn't see is such a shame because it was so fun.
Yeah. Yeah. I wish we would have got to see more of the fun side of your relationship because it really seemed like, ooh, this is not going well. Like this girl hates him. Like what's happening?
Yeah, I don't disagree with what the viewers are saying because I can see why it can come across like that.
Okay.
But people just need to remember, like, okay, well, why is she so insecure in that moment? Why is she snapping? Like I say, stuff happens off camera, conversations had been done. It's really stressful.
Can you tell us one scene that you wish aired that we did not get to see?
It was probably the scene where I sat down and I just burst into tears because I just knew Freddie. I felt like he just didn't want to be with me. And I broke down in tears, like begging to go home because I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like, we're not ourselves. And I think that really would have gave a good picture to be like, right, okay, you know, Kat's on the same level as Freddie. Okay.
Yeah. That's fair. Can we talk about the don't hug me at the altar after the no?
Well, yeah, I was so upset. But like, again, I would love someone to put themselves in my position, go to an altar, your partner saying no, and then they ask for a hug. And you know what I mean? The viewers are just being so critical because it's a TV show and they've got their opinion. But if roles reversed, if that was them, I would love to see their reaction.
Well, I think anybody would be like, don't touch me.
Yeah, I don't want a hug. Like, the thing is with me, like, we're all different as humans. And when someone upsets me, I like to just be on my own. Like, that, I didn't see my family or friends that evening. I literally was on my own for 2 days.
Okay. So you would say that's how you deal with like situations that are.
Yeah, that's just how I deal with things.
You even told your dad, you know, let me be. I know some people were in an uproar about that. Like,
people were so horrible saying she doesn't like her dad, which I actually think is disgusting.
Right.
But no, that's just how I deal with things. Like, people don't need to agree. And straight after the altar, Freddie came to my dressing room, and I actually stayed in Freddie's hotel that night. So this is what I mean. It's like the viewers saw that clip, but actually after the wedding, what I said in my interview was, all I want is Freddie. Like, I don't want my mom, I don't want my dad, I just need to see Freddie.
Okay. So you guys did continue the relationship after the altar for a little bit, or how long?
A couple of days.
A couple of days. Okay. Because I feel like on the reunion, maybe they asked you, maybe they didn't. How long after the altar did things with Freddie end?
So Freddie came back to Jersey with me like 2 days after the wedding. He came to visit and he was there for like a night and a day or something. And then when he got home, he ended it.
Oh, so very shortly after the wedding.
Yeah.
Okay. And how did that make you feel? So, because I was under the impression that you were not going to be open to continuing something on the film.
So after filming, so I said to him, so back at home, when he'd left my family, I phoned him and I said, so like, when should we plan, like, what do you want to do for your birthday? And bearing in mind, this was like a couple months like to go. And he said, oh, let's not think that far ahead. And I was like, huh? Like, I want to plan, like, when am I next seeing you? And
he's like, we're not making it to my birthday.
And he was like, oh, it's too much pressure, it's too much pressure. So I was like, something's not right.
Right.
So then he ended it. And I just got so frustrated because I was like, in my head, you didn't want to continue this. You knew it was wrong. You know, you knew you didn't like, you knew things had changed after the retreat. I wish you just told me black and white. Like, it's not.
And you guys never revisited? You guys never spun the block?
No.
Okay. I mean, spinning the block is a really big thing here in America. It's like almost all exes like spin the block. So I just had to ask.
No.
Okay, so I do have to ask you because I felt like on the reunion there were some comments made about comments that you made to the camera about Demi, and I feel like Demi and Jasmine got a chance to speak on it at the reunion, but when it was your time to speak on it, they just kind of cut you off, and I was like, well, wait, what did she have to say? Like, why do you guys let them go with their assumptions, and then when she's answering? So can you tell us more about those comments that we heard? That you don't think Demi and Ollie are going to work out in the.
So the reason why I said Demi and Ollie aren't going to work was because Ollie had no idea where his head was at. So obviously I went into an interview and I said they're not going to work because I knew Ollie's head was here, there. So it was coming from that, but I had no idea that Demi viewed it from a different perspective, which I'm really happy she spoke up because I was so oblivious, and I apologized. I was like, oh my gosh, that's not the case. And it's all been squashed, it's all been sorted. Yeah, like that's done and dusted. But the reason why I said that was purely because Ollie's intentions.
Okay, so it was more so about Ollie than it was about Demi, and everybody just kind of jumped and made their assumptions that it was.
Yeah, which is fine. Everyone's got their own opinions on how they view things. And like I said, I'm really happy that they actually spoke up because I didn't know. So
okay, so which girls from the cast would you say that you're the closest with?
So I'm close with Tash. She had a little scene with Tom. I'm close with Jazz. Like, you know, Jazz helps me with advice. Maria. I still talk to Demi. I still talk to Sabrina. Like Nicole. We all talk, but we just focus on our own lives. Like Love is Blind is done for us, and we're living our own lives.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like, again, it's been a year for you guys.
Exactly.
So I did see on Anthony's live that because you and Freddie seemed fine at the reunion. You got everything seemed friendly, and then you said that he blocked you.
So me and Freddie got on. This is what I mean. Like, I think people think that, oh my God, she doesn't like Freddie. No, like, I love Freddie just as much as the whole nation right now. Okay. Yeah, no, so he blocked me. I got quite annoyed the other day because I was just so sick and tired of reading negative comments saying, like, what people's opinions were about me. And I was like, this isn't fair. Yeah. Like, you knew that you didn't want to be with me halfway through the experiment. So why did you continue? Right. So yeah, and then he blocked me, which is fine, and it's for the best because I want to focus on my life, you know, and he should focus on his, and that's all we should do.
So would you say that he blocked you because you were kind of reaching out to tell him like, hey, like, tell them the truth, like tell them what really went on behind the scenes?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I didn't even know he blocked me. It was someone told me, and I was like, oh, great. But I don't really, like, I don't care. Like, I've got so much, my life is so important to me, and like who I'm with, like, that's his problem.
Okay, so he blocked you on socials or like your number?
I think it's Instagram.
Okay, all right, rude. All right, well, I have to ask for the ladies, do you know if Freddie is single?
Freddie is single, but I mean, I don't know what his type. I don't know what his type is. I don't know who he goes for.
Maybe no.
Or maybe I don't know. I don't know. Okay, Freddie is single.
Freddie is single, ladies. Okay, so all right. So you are in a new relationship now.
Yeah.
Yes,
well,
and it is
been together like a year, coming up to a year.
Okay, so if you guys did not know, Catherine is in a new relationship with a Pod Squad member. His name is Jake, correct? And they have been together nearly a year. Tell us about your relationship with Jake and what because you dated everyone in the pod, so you dated him in the pod, and it didn't really go anywhere.
No, so Jake was very popular. Like, his name was here, there, everywhere. Okay. And when you're on your very first dates, you have to be very critical because at the end of the day, you want to marry this guy, so you're asking like deep questions. Right. And I unfortunately, Jake was my very last date at the end of the day, so we were both like done with like this whole dating thing. And So yeah, it just didn't blossom in the pods. I had in the pod stronger connection with other people.
Okay.
And so that's where that was. And I'm so grateful for it because I don't want to form a relationship on camera. It wasn't, I don't know. I'd like to do things organically and do what I want to do.
Right. So I think I heard in another podcast that you cut things off with him because he shared an ex or shared a dog with his ex.
Shared a dog with his ex. Yeah. And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't want to be in the middle of this. This is drama.
Right.
And it's so funny because obviously on the outside world, we now like share the dog and the dog is lovely. And like, it's really like we laugh about it so much.
Okay, so you're like so he's a dog co-parent. Is the ex still like she still comes and gets the dog? I would assume they still share.
We go and collect the dog, but this is the thing. Like when you're in the pods, like any little like red flag, you're like, no, not about that. But obviously on the outside world, it's very, very different.
Right. It's such an expedited process that you don't have time to like kind of entertain red flags.
Exactly.
Entertain red flags in the real world either to be fair, but you know we do.
In that moment, I was like, I don't want to be in the middle of this. Like, oh my gosh, like I can't do so. Yeah.
Right. I don't think I would date somebody that shared a dog with an ex.
It's difficult. It is, but I love the dog. The dog lives with us every now and again, and it's great.
What kind of dog is it?
It's a cockapoo.
Oh, I love dogs. Okay, so how long? Because I've heard you, like I said, I've been following everybody's story, trying to fill in the holes. That was the reunion. So how long after you and Freddie ended things did you and Jake kind of rekindle?
So really weirdly, so it was like 2 weeks. So Freddie broke up with me, and I think it was about 2 weeks later, I messaged Jake because Jake's journey in his situation was quite dramatic.
Okay.
And I'm a big thing for men's mental health because I lost my friend through men's mental health. So it was important for me just to ask how he was. And I forgot that he had no idea who I was because he had never seen me.
Right.
Like, wait, what? And I was like, oh my God, yeah. He was like, are you not married? And I was like, oh, I've got so much to tell you. And we FaceTimed for like 5 hours. And then like that was it. We just connected. Like, yeah, it was mad.
Oh wow, that's amazing. So can you tell us a little bit about Jake's journey and the drama? Because we did. Okay, so let me tell you what we know. Because Pod Squad has said publicly that actually 11 couples got engaged, and we know that happens every season. They can't show everybody. So was Jake one that got engaged?
Yeah. Okay. Jake did get engaged. But it didn't work out for their own reasons. Again, when you're in the real world, you actually discover if you're compatible or not, to be honest. Like, you're not tested like that on screen. And like I said, when they got into the real world, they obviously discovered they weren't compatible for their own reasons.
Okay, that's fair. And you and Jake have been together going on a year now. Oh, wow. And you guys live together with a dog.
We live together. The dog comes and visits.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. Well, congratulations. It seems like Love is Blind ultimately ended up led you to your person. So
exactly. And people need to remember, like, when you're with the right person, you will literally just be you. You can do what you want. There's no judgment. But when you are not with your person, that's when you see things that aren't you, and it doesn't bring the best out in you. So that's obviously what the viewers have seen.
Okay, and no pressure, but do we think that like Jake is the one, or?
I mean, maybe people keep asking because I've got a ring on my finger. Maybe there might be wedding bells down the line.
Okay. What did we do with Freddie's ring? Do you still have it? Did you give it back?
No, so with the earrings, I gave Freddie them back. So actually, when me and Jake started talking, Freddie was the first person I told. I didn't even tell my mum, my dad, my friends. I actually texted Freddie straight away out of the house, and I posted the earrings back because it's not respectful for me to keep them.
Okay.
If please keep them, it's not right for me to have them. But with the ring, I sold it.
Okay. I know that's right.
I mean, he didn't buy the ring like that. you know, we got given. That wasn't a lose-lose thing from Freddie. Like,
okay. And what was Freddie's reaction?
I have the wedding dress. Like, I saw the wedding dress.
Yeah. Your dress was really beautiful, by the way. You looked great on wedding day. So what was Freddie's reaction when you told him that you were dating Jake? Did he have much of a reaction?
No, he really didn't care. Like, I honestly think Freddie lost feelings for me halfway through the experiment. It just wasn't. But Freddie will always speak highly of me, and which is lovely. But when I told him, he was supportive. He just said, you know, as long as you're happy, that's all that matters. I said thank you, and that was it.
Okay. Okay. So, do you have any regrets? Would you do the show again?
No.
No. Absolutely not. You would not do it again. Okay.
One, because I'm in a relationship,
right?
And two, for me, the pressure is it's a lot. You are planning a wedding in like matter of weeks, whilst trying to form a connection, whilst trying to live with your partner. It is insane. So no, I'm much happy having my relationship off camera. We can do what we want, what to say. Like, it is lovely.
So safe to say you have moved on from the Love is Blind experience. Would you agree that Love is Blind? Is Love blind?
I do think it is, because you can see that the couples are still married and they are so happy. And if it wasn't for the show, I wouldn't have found Jake. And when me and Jake were dating, we didn't talk about the show once. We just spoke about like us, and we laughed. And then the show came out. We were like, oh my God, like we forgot about the show. Like,
yeah. How does Jake feel watching it all back?
It's been amazing. He's not watched it. At the end of the day, he was in it himself, so he knows the process. But he doesn't want to sit there and watch myself and Freddie. It's not nice. He's been a massive support. He's been a support to Freddie as well, that they have spoken. And yeah, it's honestly, I couldn't have asked for a better result. And I wouldn't change anything, because my journey with Freddie was so much fun. My connection with Freddie was so real. And I'm so happy I did it with Freddie. I genuinely am. And I wish him nothing but the best. And he will make the best boyfriend to any single lady out there.
Okay, that's good. I have heard like multiple of the cast say that what we saw of Freddie is what we got. That's genuinely how he is.
Freddie is very like, he just says it. Like, Freddie's just Freddie.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Freddie is just Freddie. That's all I'll say on that. But I know everyone thinks he's stunning and he's gorgeous, and I think that's why people get so angry at me, because it's like people are saying like she downgraded. I think that's just so disgusting to say, because I'm like, what? Because Freddie's just this goddess, which he is. He's a very good-looking guy, so doesn't mean him need to work. Like, it's fine.
Right.
You'll make someone happy. Just he makes his person happy.
Right. And just because you like Kat does not mean you hate Freddie, and just because you love Freddie doesn't mean you have to hate Kat. Like, two things can be true.
Yeah. I love Freddie too. Like, it's okay.
Yeah, that's so funny. Well, thank you so much for joining me. Before I let you go, I do want to go to the comments. Keep it cute. Do you guys have any questions for Kat that I missed that you guys would like to ask her at this time before we let her go? Do you know if Freddie owns the funeral home, or is he just the director?
I don't know. I think he's just the director, but he has been in that funeral home for many years. Like, he loves that job.
Okay. Carly wants to know, do you eat beans on toast?
No, I never said this comment. It was my friend who made the comment. Like, it's so funny.
Okay, I know. Did you sign the prenup? Now, if you guys, I covered Kat's Q&A about the prenup, and so I'll let you tell the viewers about the prenup situation.
So I didn't know what a prenup is because I wasn't educated, and so we actually had to stop filming, and everyone thought it was the funniest situation because I was like, what's a prenup? And what you guys didn't see was I agreed with Freddie. I said, I don't want anything. It should go to your sister because I've known you for 4 weeks And plus, I've got nothing to give to you. Like, I don't owe, like, I live with my mum and dad. Like, I don't have anything. And so they cut that out and it made it look like I was really annoyed and I just wanted him for his money. Like, it's just ridiculous. So no, I actually agreed with Freddie, and I wish that if we were to get married, as long as he didn't leave me like homeless in the future, and everything should have gone to his sister.
Right. And unless you guys actually did get married and were together for 20 years, then we're talking about something different. Okay, so
in that moment in time, I was on his side with that.
Okay, so there you guys have it. Her and Freddie were actually on the same page as far as the prenup, and production did us shady and made her look like she was trying to use him for his money. Okay, so one question said, how much did you get for the ring? She didn't sell the dress. She still has the dress. How much did you get for the ring, and what did you do with the money?
Oh, I can't say that.
Okay, fine. That's fine. That was a nosy question. Okay, so what's next for you? What are your current passions? What's next for you?
So mental health is a massive part of mine, like I said. So I'm going to be maybe doing some talks. I don't know, I might be on your screens again. I don't know. There's some exciting things, but at the moment, I'm just enjoying the ride with my partner and trying to get through this. And yeah, that's pretty much it, really. I'm just enjoying life and just taking every minute as it comes because I'm so grateful for the journey.
Okay. So, yeah. Absolutely. Well, you've been such a pleasure to interview. Thank you so much for joining me. I honestly, I was like, I was talking a lot of shit on the internet, and I don't know if she gonna talk to me, but
oh, honey, I saw your TikTok thing.
Listen, I figure people are gonna see my stuff, and it's like, you know what, I stand on what I say from what I see. You know what I mean? But I also tell everyone, I've no bad blood against you.
Everyone's gonna have their own opinion, but people just need to remember, just because you're obsessed with Freddie does not mean you need to hate me. Look, if I was a viewer, I would be doing the same thing. So I get it. But yeah, it's crazy. Right,
and I think you said earlier that you agree that based on what we've seen, you can see why the viewers are having the reaction because we're missing so much context.
Oh my God, you've got to make a TV show. You've got to keep the viewers. There's always got to be a villain. If it was so perfect, we wouldn't be watching. So I appreciate you talking with me today. Thank you for keeping it so candid. You honestly seem you're so great. You know what I mean? Production teams, this is so annoying because this is me. This is me. Literally. Yeah. But.
Well, I think that fans will continue to follow what you're doing, continue to follow your journey. You can rewrite your own story. Nobody will care about this in a few weeks, and you'll be able to rebrand yourself. But thank you so much for being such a great guest. And, I can't wait to see what's next for you.
Thanks. Stay tuned.
Okay, stay tuned. What's the London term? Watch the space? Is that what you guys say?
Watch the space.
Watch the space. I was like, what does that mean? But yeah, it's been so great watching you from America, the USA. You've been awesome. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Well, bye.
Bye, you guys.